Welcome to another, Jimmy, wake up. Welcome to another live question and answer. And Jimmy's going to, as usual, a little bit, read us the YouTube comments, which I think people have commented and weighed in on that they like to see Jimmy do that. But we're going to get to a little business. How many do we have now? 30,000 subscribers, Patrick?
Good God, man.
Not quite.
We just got 20. I'm being greedy.
Yeah.
What, with 20,001? That's a real answer? We don't know, but we do know we hit 20,000, and we do appreciate that. And we want to remind people the reason we do these every week, we've been really consistent with this, Patrick, right? I don't think we've really have missed a week. And just because we do this because of the question and answer segments that we get from YouTube and from the online classes. So mainly, I mean, we also do the Facebook. We catch up on Facebook, but this is designed to answer questions. So sometimes we don't answer on the YouTube, do we, Patrick?
We answer during this. So
we answer during this. We hope that people who are sending in their comments or questions on YouTube will tune into the question and answer. They should know that we do this, right? And they can see their question being answered. If not live, they can check it out later, right, Jimmy?
Yep.
So again, we thank people for joining. The Facebook forum really has exploded. I think that our best success comes from that, Patrick. I really do, because we get to see the images of people throwing up what they've done in their work, and today's no exception. We're going to show some of that. And so right now, I'm going to ask Patrick, before we get rolling here, I think we've taken care of all the business, right, Patrick? I do want Patrick to update on the online classes. We have a lot of content that isn't up there yet. And how many shows do we have? How many can people expect over the winter, Patrick?
2 so far.
2, but how many?
Shellback, right?
How many segments was that?
Yep.
Canterback, I thought was 12.
12, and then we're doing a wingback, which is probably going to have more than that, right, Patrick?
Yep, we're already on 6 we shot today.
So you're going to have at least 24 or 30 different classes over the winter.
Are you going to run them at the same time or one after?
No, the shellback or channelback has been finished for a little bit, so that'll go up first.
And I think that people are really appreciating the hard work that we put into these, and we appreciate the people looking into that. Where can they buy the online classes, Patrick?
On our site.
On the Upholstery on Broadway site, right?
Yes.
Our website, Upholstery on Broadway, and there's a bar for that up at the top. You press classes, and it'll show the online classes. And you've got that packaged out pretty. You've changed the packaging on that.
So if you like Jimmy, you can get classes with all Jimmy.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that more money?
It's actually cheaper.
You knew you were going to walk right into that.
I know.
Right now it's on
sale. If I wasn't going to get an answer from him, I was going to get it from you.
It's 99% off right now.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Did anybody ever tell you suck?
Well, Jimmy, now this is a family show.
And we also have the in-person classes going on, too.
Oh, the in-person classes. Well, there's some exciting news on that. We're getting a lot of activity. People are already signing up for the second semester we're running. But we had a moving company come in. I don't even know if I told Patrick this. He wants to send 2 of his movers in to learn how to cut furniture, deconstruction on furniture, to cut it, to get it into places.
Oh, God.
They have a lot of problems getting things in.
Well, we had that once.
We did. So I'm going to show them how to do that.
No way.
Yeah, they're going to take a class. He's going to send 2 of his guys to do that. So I'm
That's-
kind of
yeah,
excited.
They're going to take the falls.
Yeah, they're gonna take it. They were in there one Saturday. They caught me out in the sidewalk. We had the sign up.
You might be expanding that online.
Well, the classes. I think the classes are only going to get more and more popular because we have the school now. Arlington Public Schools want to do a class through us also. So
wow. What day or week?
We don't know yet. We're still trying to work that out.
Okay.
We're still in the first stages of that. So if you guys are local to Arlington, Massachusetts, you may want to look also on the site. They can sign up on the site, right, Patrick? Upholstery on Broadway.
Yeah, now you mentioned those 2 spots. Those are for sure. That means we have 7 spots available. So almost halfway full.
Yeah, you guys, if you really want to take the class, or I keep telling my people who are taking the class already. I say the other day there was 4 of them, and they all laughed, ha ha ha.
Well, you know what? You wait. I mean,
you might miss out on one of the most exciting adult ed classes. It's been called. It was voted number 1.
Who told you that?
I did.
You are so caught.
Well, what do you think of
Get
the
away from that
classes?
coffee.
Let me ask you, Jimmy's taken classes. He's taken
I love the
ballet.
classes.
You've taken ballet classes. You've taken.
Not ballet.
I thought you took ballet.
Dance, ballroom dance. My God, man.
Before this gets too crazy, we have a question.
Thank God.
There's nothing wrong with ballet.
Okay, then sign up.
I don't look good in a tutu, though.
Yeah. Well.
So anyway, Sylvia has a question. With fabric double rubs, what would be the lowest you would consider safe for an ottoman?
Well, an ottoman gets the feet and gets the heels. I think an ottoman takes more abuse than any other piece of furniture.
I think so. Yes. Absolutely.
So what would you say, Jimmy? How many double rubs would you say, Jimmy?
Well, what's the minimum? 25.
I got to tell you a little secret. The minimum is less than 5,000 on manufactured furniture.
Oh.
Because the manufacturers don't want the fabric to last long because they want you to buy more new manufactured furniture.
Oh, yeah, but they ruin it though. They don't really. They're missing something.
So her question is a good one. So 5,000 is the low end, and
I would probably
400,000 is the high end. What do you think?
I'd say a good 25,000
at least. We recommend about that. 25 is considered heavy duty, by the way.
Yes.
But for an ottoman, she might consider something a little bit more durable.
Well, I mean, I think also it depends on. I mean, to me, when you look at what it is,
and how much use it's going to get.
Yes, absolutely. Especially if you have children in the house, or if you have a lot of company.
The last 2 jobs I delivered,
Okay.
I put the furniture down, and the last job, 2 cats jumped on the chair, and the one before that, 1 cat jumped on the chair as soon as I put it down.
Oh, we'll see you in 6 months.
So, any other comments or questions before we get to the Facebook? I think we talked a lot about what we do. People tuning in for the first time, they may not know Jimmy, but Jimmy is an apprentice on the online classes. He's taken a lot of classes, not only in adult ed. And I was going to ask him, on a serious note, what would he classify, on a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being the best? You've taken, all kinds of classes, cooking classes, sewing classes, upholstery classes, ballroom dancing, you name it. Jimmy's taken.
I've been an arts and crafts guy for a long time.
Right.
So when I first walked into this class the very first time,
I remember that.
I had no idea what to be prepared for.
Right.
Because all I knew was that material, that chair that I was doing, was beyond repair, number one, and I said, I'm going to give this a shot.
I remember that day. You came through the door and I heard angels singing. Ah. And I said, this guy's going to be an upholsterer.
Sucker!
So tell me.
But
of
I
all
mean,
the
how many
classes
projects has it been? It's probably been about
You've done a few.
10 to 15 probably.
Yeah.
And not including now what we're doing with the videos and doing that, which is something.
You've done probably hundreds.
No, I mean,
Well, no,
I
as
haven't.
far as segments, as far as each individual class.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, the settee and the ottoman that we did and the channel back. I mean, it's
So
all.
you enjoy the class from a 1 to 10. You don't want to rate it because that might ruin.
No, you know what?
You-
You know what? Who to ask?
Give it a strong
you should,
5.
You should ask Rose.
Okay.
Rose, I'll tell you, if she could do her
Yeah.
furniture over, if she had a room that
Right.
had to be done, she would be here.
We're going to need to make sure she does a good job. So, for those of you who have just tuning in and wonder what Jimmy does, Jimmy has taken a lot of classes. I think that Jimmy definitely, and it dawned on me, this is another project that he's working on behind us, that it dawned on me that I can leave him alone more often. So I'll be wandering around. That means that he's learning and he doesn't have to ask a question on every tack that he puts in. So that's good.
Well, that's a good thing. But
Yeah.
again, I am going to be looking for. I don't know whether you want to make another video of cutting fabric, or if there's. I know you mentioned you did have one online.
The YouTube videos are popular around cutting around posts and things like that. That gets people stuck a lot of times when they're working on furniture.
Oh yeah.
The prepping for up to that point too. So we do apologize. I think that Patrick and I were talking. We haven't done a post on YouTube for a while.
Right.
So time kind of slips by when you're doing all this other stuff. But as kind of a collectively, it's the online classes, it's the YouTube, it's the Facebook, it's to get keep the buzz going.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that buzz is the YouTube videos, which we remind people are free, which is great. People can get on there for free and learn things. As a matter of fact, I do want to tell you that one of our subscribers,
Mm-hmm.
one of our early people who followed us, Blair, is coming up. He's down in Alabama.
Okay.
He's coming up to visit, so maybe you can stop in and see Blair. And
Oh, absolutely,
I'll
yeah.
let you know when
If
coming.
he's going to be there in time.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see somebody. Blair, I think, is a screaming success where he is. I think.
Oh, you know what? We could do lunch.
Yeah, I think maybe we could do a video, Patrick, with Blair if he would allow it.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be good because it would be kind of an live update on what Blair's been doing. But I will tell you that
Now,
he
what is
started
he-
with
what
a
is-
small shop and he expanded into a big shop. So that tells you that he must be doing. He's doing well.
He's got the. I think it's great. I mean, when we spoke to him and it was great.
Well, we talked about this, I think last week or the week before. When you got, I don't know what the area where he's at, if there was an empty store for a long time and he pulled in and started his little upholstery shop there. But it's amazing, it happened where I am, where one shop can be like the anchor store for a whole block and kind of bring in the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And other places like a restaurant would open or something else, another business, it's just, I think what he's done, and we could talk to him about this, I'm just guessing that he is that person in that store that's created that buzz in that little community.
Well, I think you have a landmark store where you start bringing in other variety of shops, and especially if it's let's say like a Maynard Square here, there's a variety. You do have a good variety here.
Well, if you bring people in and there's a buzz, and think about classes too, and I've been telling him for a while, when he gets the confidence up, I think, to run classes, because you get people in a class, they're there for 2 hours. So like in our class, people say, is it a place to get a drink, or is there a place to get a coffee? Is there a place to get some bread? All of those things are within walking distance of the shop.
Well, yeah, actually it's 50 yards, if
Yeah,
that.
so it's good. It's a good little block. The stores feed off one another in a good way, and that's it. So let's get to the Facebook. So Diana had, she posted this picture we were talking about. Now, you're not a Star, we talked about this. Do you know anything about Star Trek?
I'm not a Trekkie, but she did the chair.
We were talking about the Ready Room and
Yeah,
all that.
she mentioned me in it.
She did.
Yeah.
Just posting this after the comments about the Ready Room chairs. Jimmy is one of the most comfortable chairs we own. Jimmy is Jimmy.
I didn't know Jimmy was a chair.
Let me rephrase that.
Have you been
Jimmy.
working too many hours?
Brings up the question, Jimmy, if you were a chair, what type of chair would you be?
Oh, I don't go.
Think about it.
Lazy boy, big.
A lazy boy, that's perfect. What about you, Patrick? I see Patrick as a big wing chair.
Have you been partaking of nature's?
No, what you're seeing here, right,
Not
are
from
the
you.
long hours of upholstering. Sometimes, and I've told this to my students before, you're working
When
away.
have you ever told them that?
Well, maybe not you. You're working away alone, sometimes long hours. Sometimes it just gets so boring. You have to be sometimes your own entertainment, Jimmy. You know what I mean?
Oh God.
You'd be in trouble. That's one of the qualifications, by the way. You have to be a stand-up comic to be an upholsterer. No, I'm just kidding. Let's get to this. Patrick, you're not telling me to stop. Usually his hand goes up and says,
I
get
know.
with it.
Well, obviously he's
He
busy.
must be enjoying this.
You probably can't get out of here quick enough.
Jimmy, it is one of the most comfortable chairs we own. It cradles and supports you in all the right places. Diana and Randy,
That's really cool.
Esquire Upholstery. And you guys can go on Facebook if you haven't already to see this. This is
really cool.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I like that.
You almost can't believe that that's comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Looking at it.
Look at that.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Jimmy, do you want to see that?
I like the style to it. I think it's kind of cool. Because you can basically like lay out and just go. Ah.
Now, I pronounce this like, I imagine maybe Michaela will know. Lyke is the first name. Like? I would say like, right?
Yeah.
She says she's done an amazing thing. Now, this to me, I'm very surprised at how well this came out because she's got one of the hardest pieces of furniture to do. It's a womb chair. And these womb chairs are featured at the Museum of Fine Arts and other fine art museums probably all over the world.
Okay.
And they're beautiful chairs. And we had the courage, Patrick, remember that?
Mhm.
we had the courage to do a series on a womb chair, and I say that because you never know how these things are going to come out. The fabric's everything on these things. So she says, "Yay! I have my masterpiece ready. When I saw the video series about the womb chair, check it out, you guys. And this is funny. If you guys want to laugh at me, I'm in the middle of this chair and tools are falling all over the place. I'm trying to get the thing just right, and I'm not panicking, but there's a point when you're doing these chairs, cutting around the interior. I'll show you guys in a minute. I always look at a womb chair and say, this is impossible. I'm never going to be able to do this every time I get one.
Well,
because they're doing things that fabric doesn't want to like to do, around curves.
Well, you wonder how they actually, we
show people how. It's the fabric that's had a lot to do with it. So she says, but I dared to do it, and I'm extremely glad that I started the adventure. See,
Okay.
Jimmy? It took a long time. My first posting was on September 21st. I'm not sure if she's talking this year. But I had to replace all the foam. The spray glue, unfortunately, did not hold. I had to search for an alternative. And every cut in the fabric, I had to think about 10 times again and again. And it would not have... This fades out, Patrick, and I don't see the rest of it. But I want to show you guys the picture. Look at the job she did. Isn't that amazing? There's another picture here. Isn't there another page to this, Patrick?
Yeah, there's 5 more. People should go on and check that out. It's really cool.
Check that out on the... there you go, Jimmy. Jimmy always wants to see stuff. I don't blame him. He's so interested in upholstery. He's got an extreme interest.
Well, I just think it's amazing when you how, especially this is completely a different style of chair or furniture, and you kind of say, where do I start?
So Nico, she's got a beautiful. Listen, she must have gotten the video your channel back, because she's got a beautiful channel back here.
Oh, nice.
Nico says, I finished. Got a buyer in New York. Any tips on shipping companies? I would say be very careful on how you ship this. I think that this needs to be crated, first of all. You need to crate it. You need to have a wood platform for this, Jimmy,
Yes.
right?
Oh, absolutely.
Wood platform. And unfortunately, I think you're going to need a one of the big trucks, right?
UPS does have
Does
the big.
UPS have that
Yeah.
capability?
They do.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure FedEx as well.
But it's tricky delivering. It's really tricky delivering upholstered furniture, Jimmy. Right from the shop to the customer's front door, and then up her stairs, around the piano, up another flight of stairs, through another room, blah blah
Have
blah.
you been there before?
By the time you do that, you could have damage just in the shop to our customer's house. You can imagine. I don't want to
Well,
scare.
you're looking at the chair. You like you say, it's going to be a tight.
It has to be packaged nicely,
Yes.
because the shipper. The shipper's not going to handle it like an upholsterer and his helper would, right?
No.
They're not going to package it up either. They'll put a piece of plastic on it, but it's going to.
They'll do enough.
Yeah, and
But you know what? You got to be careful because you got to. I would imagine that when initially shipping it, you're going to have to protect it with some time.
with plastic first.
Yes, and you're
That's
gonna
your first layer.
they're going to tell you to do that.
You
I
tape
believe.
it down.
And then they're going to say, okay, how do you want to? How do you want this to be?
I'm
sent?
not sure where Nico is. She's in New York, but there are people. I've seen this show on TV where they put it out to bid. These different truckers. It's called
Yes, I've seen
Shipping
that.
Wars.
Yes.
And I think she should do that. She should probably put it out to bid if she wants to get a good price.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I mean because.
Yeah, the reason I suggest that is because a lot of times these people are going to, let's say, New York, where this person lives. They've got a bigger load, but they take a smaller load to try to offset some of their costs.
Right.
So they can fit this somewhere in their truck. So that would be my suggestion. I don't know how they
I
do
definitely
this.
think you got to do some background. God forbid you have somebody with a truck. Oh yeah, no problem. And then you find it, and it's.
The other thing you can do is, if the person would be willing, it's a small enough that would fit in a hatchback. So maybe you can meet halfway, or
Yeah.
work out some type of deal with the buyer.
Right. Now, where did she say the chair was going?
Well, she says it's going to New York, but I don't know where she is. She could be in California. That would be a problem. Well, anyhow, that's that. You want to look a closer look at that, Jimmy?
That's nice. I like the fabric.
I think Phyllis Rogers. This might be. We featured this last week, but we'll show it again. She says, not my choice of fabric, but it's done. I don't know. Thought we showed this last week, but we'll show it again. So Facebook forum, probably
Yeah, I think that was my fault.
your best source for getting information from other people maybe who are at your level, under your level, or over your level, which is great.
I don't know if there's another post on there. Let me try to find it.
Are there any comments before we get to Jimmy's segment?
Nope.
Okay.
My segment.
Yeah, Jimmy, now's the time where you're going to read the YouTube comments.
Nobody says a damn good thing about us. No, I'm
We weed the bad ones out.
Yes, we always do. Yeah,
They always seem to come from one guy in Waltham. His name is Jimmy something or other.
Yeah.
He's a pain.
Anyway, are you ready for all the compliments and all the accolades?
I don't know.
Well, all right. Well, this one here is from Julie Holtz. This is in regard to how to pad a cane dining chair. Love your classes. I have 4 chairs to reupholster, and I will use this method.
There we go. Canning's a problem today because nobody does it the right way, which is hand canning, which is a really labor-intensive thing, and you do have to have a certain amount of skill.
Well, and tools,
Yeah.
obviously.
People go with don't even bother with the rolled-up canning. It just doesn't look good at all. If you're going to get it done, if you can find somebody.
There used to be classes. I don't know. You'd
There
have to
would be
Google
very
it.
popular classes because there's a lot of canning out there. So this is a way not to ruin the chair as much. We're not trying to ruin these cane chairs,
Okay.
but we are trying to get people to use them. And if they can't find somebody to cane, we show them how to upholster them. So thank you for that comment.
So the next one, how to tie a slip knot from Rosa. Holy moly, I just nailed it. Awesome video, just saved my cushion.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
I don't know how she saved a cushion though. I wonder. I bet she had a semi-attached cushion. She doesn't say that anything about the cushion. But if you have a semi-attached cushion, right, that's fallen over,
Yeah.
you can use the slip knot, I think, to tie that back up. If you don't want to
Well,
learn.
obviously she was thinking in that regard
She
because
did.
it
She
worked.
saved herself a lot of money. That's another thing about these. Patrick was just mentioning these quick fix things that we have on YouTube are the most popular because I think, Patrick, that's because the average person is sitting at home and they punch in button pop, what do I do? And they come up with one of our videos, right?
Yeah, we gotta do more of those.
But those people, they're gone after that, right? So they're not subscribing.
Well, I mean, you're looking around for YouTube have so many different things about whether it's changing a tire, an air filter,
Right.
Scratched furniture, something to that effect. You're going to see a lot of different ideas.
If we had every person who went on every view, now the views, Patrick, have to be in the millions.
Yeah,
Patrick.
they're up there.
They have to be in the millions. Because one time, I don't check it that much anymore. It used to be fun checking the logistics. I don't do that as much anymore. But I remembered looking at it. It was well over 1 million, Patrick, when I looked at it a few years ago. So
Yeah.
it's probably much more than that. Might be fun to find out.
This next one's from Leslie. This is regards to the upholstery show, I believe, last week.
Uh-oh. Here comes the hammer.
Ready Room has a new Captain Kevin Kennedy. I didn't even want to say that one. My God,
Oh,
it's
Jimmy,
killing
you're
me.
so jealous.
Yeah.
The green-eyed monster
Captain
showed
Kevin.
it.
Can she explain that? Where does she get Captain?
Oh, you don't know that. See, Jimmy doesn't know the reference, Patrick. He doesn't know the reference. We'll just let it
Yeah, if she comes back
Let it
to.
peter out.
yeah, we won't even talk about it.
The next one is the 18th century English Victorian chair. From Tyler. Beautiful Victorian armchairs. I'm restoring a similar pair, and I'm overwhelmed. Where is the next video on this? I think your fans, myself included, would love to see more about these.
Yeah, unfortunately, throughout the channel's history, we're coming in sometimes with the project that's half done, and we show specific parts. We do have some A to Z's.
Okay.
Not in this one, because this is one of those projects. A lot of the furniture I work on are customers, and they need to be transitioned out. So we don't have the time. Oftentimes, the filming
But you
schedule
know what?
doesn't line
This
up.
is-
But the online class, that's why we have the online classes,
Okay.
because it is definitely
But
A to
it's
Z.
this is definitely one of the ideas to say with regard to a completion of. I think even if you had 2 or 3 videos of a certain
Oh,
thing.
don't we have a antique? We have antique A to Z's, don't we, Patrick?
Yeah, I'm trying to think which one was the antique.
Oh, we
I know
have the-
one of them actually titled antique, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there are some on there. He's just gonna. What he needs to do is review. I know it takes a little bit of time. He has to go through all of the videos that we have,
Okay.
search them. Can you put keywords in, Patrick, on YouTube? Sure. Put keywords in and come up with something specific to what he's looking at. I'm sure he'll find it, right, Pat?
Of course.
Okay, what's the next one, Jimmy? Are
The
you?
next
I
one-
could tell how excited you are. You know,
I am
your
thrilled.
excitement level's up to here.
Yeah, okay. The Upholstery Show, apparently last week, this is from Mitzi 4 days ago. Love all your videos.
That's wonderful. Is this
Captain.
Tell him the check's in the mail for that compliment.
Yeah, Mitzi, yeah. It ain't going to be much of a check.
Now make sure they get
Don't-
royalty
don't-
checks on these
It's
comments.
definitely not from the lottery winnings, I can tell you that
Well, I
much.
can tell you. You're too overpaid yourself, Jimmy.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Anyway, the next one is upholstering a dining room chair, part 2.
There you go. There's
Is there this is from Sparky. Is there a particular advantage to using burlap rather than scrap fabric you have on hand?
it depends on what they're doing. So if you're doing outsides, burlap's not a good material to use. You're better off using scrap fabric because scrap fabric has a tighter, we talk about tighter weave.
Right.
Burlap, though, is very specific to covering over springs, and some people call it a non-squeak burlap, non-squeak.
Well, on squeak.
So the burlap has a great quality to it where when the springs recoil and come back up, you don't hear anything.
Okay.
Any other, like some people use fabric, some people use nylon. That's a bad thing because
Nylon?
it makes like a squeak. Yeah, it is nylon. There's not.
Oh,
that
okay,
nylon
yeah,
you
okay,
use.
all right, yeah. I'm
Like
trying
that,
to
you've seen it on
picture-
outside. It's really hard to take off.
Yeah.
If you've done it before, you know what I mean. But so our materials, that's another thing about the classes and the YouTube channel. We like to show the proper materials because, right, Patrick? We have that available on Upholstery on Broadway. Pretty much they're all vetted
Yes.
by me over the years as to what is the best to use where. Okay, so that's a
Okay.
good question.
Let's see, where are we? The next
Riveting
one.
TV. I'm sure people are riveted by your
Well,
reading
yeah,
these questions.
yeah, like my Walter Cronkite style. Anyway, outside back, how to upholster an outside back of a dining room chair. This is from Kath Sanchez. This is gold. Thank you so much for sharing.
Usually when somebody said this is gold, they've discovered a way of doing things. Maybe it's faster, it's quicker, or it sounds like she might be actually selling her craft. So she,
Well, you might have finally sold somebody some good information.
yeah,
maybe.
finally, right?
Finally, I mean,
How many videos? Over 400 videos, and this is the first gold nugget that they found.
Yeah, so I mean,
That's
that's like saying, like I always joke around when we go into a
Right.
customer.
I know.
Yeah, not bad for a first time, right?
Right, yeah, that really gets the confidence level up for me, and then they start.
They
looking
laugh.
They laugh, and then the magnifying glass comes out.
Yeah. Don't worry about. Yeah, don't worry. No, don't worry about. No, don't turn the light on.
I did have somebody take a magnifying glass out once,
Really?
and they were going like this. And I said, if you go into the museum where the Mona Lisa is and did that, you'd come up with the same problem.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
it looks good from here, and then you get right up close, Jimmy. I know that you did this, but
What do you mean you did that? You son of a-
Randy saying
Stick with the natural jute burlap as well. The synthetic stuff does not last.
there you go.
Jute. So what we use all the time?
We use jute all the time. Yeah,
Okay. Synthetic.
there is a synthetic. Yeah,
You're kidding.
I think that's the squeak one.
Oh, okay. The next one's from Janine. 6
Janine's
days.
been such a good friend forever.
Yes. Another.
It's got to be 12 years with her, Patrick. 10, 12 years on YouTube.
So this is from obviously our upholstery show last week. A great segment as always.
Someday we'll have to come in here at 3 in the morning and do one for her because she's in Australia.
3 in the morning. You gonna buy me breakfast?
You come in after the first train pulls out.
That's
And then she could see it live because she's always seeing it.
where's she from?
Australia.
Oh,
You
yeah, we
remember
could do
Janine.
something early morning.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Where's the IHOP around here? Is there a breakfast
People
place
don't
around?
know what IHOP is. What's
Oh, explain that to them.
International House of Pancakes?
There you go, baby.
There used to be one on where was it? Well, in Boston, and that was famous. We had another question and comment, Patrick.
Now let's touch.
Oh, he's trying to speed
He's
you up.
trying to
'Cause now you're talking pancakes, Jimmy. He went from being on the front, from the captain's ready room to pancakes. I don't know how you do that. Go ahead, read the
We're
next.
just talking about some bad jokes. Anyway, this is regarding the upholstery foam tips and tricks. This is from Janine.
Ooh, tips and tricks. I like that.
This is from Janine.
Uh-huh.
Please, can you tell me the name of the foam you use? You say it so fast in the video. I can't understand since I'm not familiar with the Boston accent. No, I'm joking.
Well, it's a polyurethane high density foam that is ultra medium. How's that? No, let me slow that down, Jimmy. Don't bring me a coffee anymore.
I'm just gathering info. It wasn't me. I'm not I'm gonna give you Kool-Aid. So I'm just gathering info. Is what she says. Is I'm gathering info to do my own dining room chairs.
So what it is it's a medium ultra foam, and it is a polyurethane as well as all the other foams polyurethane probably, or polyurethane based. And now the difference between mine is also that it's a Cal 117 graded,
Which means
which means that it's not going to just blow up in flames. I mean, it's not fireproof. Nothing's fireproof. More fire resistant. So the thing about this is that in this particular foam, I think it adds a nice density to the foam. The treatment.
okay.
The treatment adds a nice density to the foam, or just a little bit more of a density than a non-treated fabric. And I do recommend, I know that there's chemicals involved in it and everything, but I do recommend it. You know, we had a very bad fire here in New England that there was a foam that caught fire. Really, that foam, and the thing about the foam that catches fire, it's a low-grade foam. It's white usually.
Right.
Stay away from that. You're not restricted in residential furniture, believe it or not. It's in commercial work. You must abide by a overabundance of fire safety laws when it comes to this stuff. But in residential, we don't have to do it. But I do. I've done it for a long time, and I'll never go back to the other foam.
Okay. So
what's
that's it.
Is that
That's
it,
all-
Jimmy?
That's it.
No, we never asked
Janine,
Jimmy.
what's
Do
on?
you have any questions or comments?
No. I mean, I'm going pretty good. I'm doing. We have
What are you
this,
doing
of course,
here?
going on Monday and Thursday nights.
Right.
I take my other half with me, and she loves it.
Do you
What-
want to talk a little bit about how that progress is going on the online classes?
With this chair.
What's the difference between the online classes and the in-house class?
Well, I mean, definitely different projects. I mean, this one here we do go step by step,
So it's
which
slower.
a much slower pace, and I think it's a much more accurate lesson, especially when it comes to the cutting of the fabric, cutting it when you put it on the chair or the ottoman, whatever it happens to be. And of course, this is going to be, I think, a little bit of enlightenment because of the fact that the way the arms are
We've
set.
redesigned this chair.
Yes,
What was on there before was definitely a redesign of the original, which didn't look good at all. And we've I think hit with our redesign. We haven't done yet, but on the arms. But I think we hit it as the original was.
Well, I want to see what your idea. I know we've spoken, but it's been a while.
Yeah,
so
it's going to look really classic.
Okay.
Sometimes classic is good. I was looking at a 57. I had a 67 Chevy Impala.
Oh, I have one of those too.
Did you?
Oh, it was great.
And I always thought it was a piece of junk, but now they're worth money.
Oh, when I see them, I stare at them.
But the 57s were even more ornate. I mean, the big fins and
Oh, yeah.
all that.
Well, I worked with a gentleman at one time. He had a 1958 Cadillac, and again, you talk about the fins.
Yeah.
You're talking about a car that probably was about 3 tons.
But I guess the point I'm trying to make is classic sometimes is good.
Yeah.
It's better. So
Yeah.
we'll make this classic. So, but stick around, Jimmy, because I think I want you to close this out. But right now, Michaela, do you want to do some of these estimates, or do we have any?
There are a few, yeah.
Okay, I do want to show very interesting sofa that we're going to be redoing. And this you won't believe, Jimmy. You won't believe this. Well, let me do this first, Michaela. We're not going to read all those emails from Gail, but what I want to do is just show the sectional she has to people. I've never seen this. Never, ever seen this before. You guys are not going to believe this. This is... This is a tufted sectional, and there are tufts everywhere. There are tufts on the outside.
Looks like cheese.
It does Swiss cheese. There are tufting everywhere, and they're having real problems with this. The people who made it, I won't tell you the manufacturers. I happen to like the manufacturer, but what this
That
is
looks like a marshmallow.
classic
Actually.
example of, well, what should I say? I want to say this nicely. I'm not knowing the history of upholstery, let's say, because tufting, and I was explaining this to the customer. See that, Jimmy?
Oh my, yeah, I did see that. I was like, whoa.
So tufting should only be reserved if you're going to do it right. Diamond tufting, they did try to do diamond tufting on this because that's the right way of doing it. Cannot be used. I mean, you could try foam on the back, a high density foam on the back with tufting, but it never ever comes out as right as horsehair and muslin. And the reason is the quality of the horsehair, the resiliency of the horsehair really works well with the diamond tufting. But what the big thing, if you close your eyes and imagine this, you guys, the foam is edged, and it's impossible to edge out the foam on tufting, so don't even go there. You need to use the foam as a flat piece of foam. So you're not getting the roundness near the top of the pleat. That's one of the biggest problems. The roundness on the horsehair is naturally there. You pull it and you get it. You can work the horsehair too with a regulator to get it to where you want, with the pleats to where you want. With foam, you're not going to get that. It's just plain and simple. It's too soft too. The foam is too soft, even if you're using a high density foam. So especially on the seats, even like you guys know what a Chesterfield is. On the seats on those are tufted. Forever a problem on the tuft. There's other problems that come up too at the twines. They break easier because all that tension is put on the seat. Anyhow, I thought you guys might like that. Do you want to go to the? I know people like this. Patrick, we hear back from people on this segment with Michaela on the pricing. This has a lot of different factors. Our pricing, where your shop is, geographically, what the economy's doing right now. This is an interesting time right now on pricing. So, and if you're watching this later, like a year later, we've done one pricing video or two pricing videos where you always have to remember our pricing videos could be a year or two old. So either add or subtract for inflation or what the economy is doing. But anyhow, you want to go, Michaela? First one.
Sure, there's one from September 30th.
September 30th. I don't see that one. Oh, okay, this one, okay. Is that Kevin?
No, the one right below that one.
Oh, okay. Why don't you read that?
Allie says, I am looking to upholster 6 chairs that have broken caning. Before I start, however, I would like to estimate the amount of cost of supplies that are needed. I have basic measurements. Can you help?
Well, we're going to have to tell her to send the basic measurements first, but just for our viewers, if somebody, let's say their typical caning is just on the top of the seat. She doesn't specify that either. So we have to be careful here in how we answer her. We need her to send measure. But if she just had the seat, she would need webbing, a roll of webbing is probably what she needs. She might have some left over that. Red webbing.
Okay.
She needs 3 yards of burlap if it's just the seats. She needs probably a 1-inch piece of foam, maybe.
Okay.
and then the fabric. That's it. That's all she needs.
Explain about the webbing when you said the red webbing.
The red webbing's a seat webbing. It's a tighter weave. The
Tighter
black,
weave.
No, the black webbing used to be. This is confusing. I had an old black webbing once that was fine for seats, but it was it was lying around.
So is that a lower
But
grade?
they started
is
with
it
the black webbing as the quality, and then it switched around to the red webbing. Definitely is better than the black webbing now.
well
The black webbing is just the black webbing they make now. It's a stripe that's in the webbing. It's
Right.
jute. The black webbing they make now is just, if you're going to use it on the backs.
right where a lower support is not.
Yeah, the
is
seat webbing
needed.
is needed, especially on these.
But I had green, so that's
You
what I'm
had
asking.
green webbing?
Remember?
Oh, I think Jimmy had green webbing. Now, I've never seen that. Maybe I do remember something about
That was
this.
that's on the Thursday class because I showed you. I bought it because I said I don't think I need all the big roll.
Maybe
and I
you
was
should
like-
have saved that.
Well, you know what? You only used it on the sides.
Okay, because it was loose, I think.
Yes, it
Okay.
wasn't as tight. I mean, if it was again the seat, I would have hesitated.
That's interesting. Green webbing. What's the next one?
It's from earlier today, 12:50 p.m.
Okay,
Kim.
okay. You want to read that?
Hello, I have a chair that needs to be recovered and I have the fabric. It looks a lot like the chair that you have on your website. I use it as a desk chair.
Well, we have a lot of chairs on the website,
Yeah.
so maybe she can be more specific. Take a picture of her actual chair and send it. As beware, you guys. So this is a good learning session. Is that I hesitate to give any type of labor estimate or yardage estimate without seeing something.
Yeah, I mean, you can say, "Oh, I have a love seat." Well, the love seat could be 12 yards versus what my version could be 15,
Yeah.
especially some of the older ones.
And we've got a live comment.
No, not the live comments.
Now live on your channel. Oh no,
that's something else.
we can't fabricate, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I mean, I could sit here all day
I
and
got
make
it.
things up, but I wouldn't do
Fabricate.
that.
Got it. A little play on
Fabricate, little
got-
pun there.
little play on words. Okay.
I think that's it, isn't it, Michaela, for you?
Yeah.
We have noticed a little tick down in the estimates lately, so
Well, I mean, it's still. I think people are still warming up. It's
Yeah.
people looking at their furniture and saying yes or no. What are we going to do here?
So I'll ask a question for our viewing audience. I'll ask a question. I'm thinking about getting into, Patrick doesn't even know this, Moroccan seating. I'm getting
What?
interested in Moroccan seating.
Well,
What is
Nico's in the chat, and that's what I think she specializes in that, right?
Does she?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she posted something.
I think she's onto something. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give a little tip here. I'm going to give my own, I'm just going to blurt it out because I think this is just a super idea. So I started thinking about, somebody came in and said that they got an estimate on how long it would take to get a new sofa. And they estimated 36 weeks to get a sofa.
What?
And they're willing to wait, and I can't
Oh
believe
my
that.
God! Imagine if you.
But it started making me thinking, how can we fix that? And so what I do, I cover cushions, make cushions, and Moroccan furniture, or Turkish, some people call it Turkish furniture, is all cushioned. So you start with a base, you upholster a base. I can get any type size foam.
Okay.
I can get a 15-inch block of foam, use
Okay.
that as the base, upholster it, and then upholster the top with cushions, and then just load it up with all kinds of beautiful throw pillows. You can make wedge bolsters. But what you're using is, I know you're not too keen on
I'm
this.
trying to picture it.
Oh, it's easy. We can get a picture up here. I'll show you. Let's get a picture up right now and show you Moroccan. Now, the traditional stuff, not so much. But I know some people would like the traditional. First, I'll show Jimmy a traditional Moroccan. Now, look at that, Jimmy. What do you think?
Oh wow!
Isn't that's
Wow.
That's a wow. That's a wow right there, you guys. You got that, Michaela, on there? That's a traditional Moroccan seating. But I don't know if a lot of people would go for that here, but we would use our fabrics if they
Yeah,
don't
you'd
wanna
have
do
a
that.
small. I don't think it would be a big market for it.
Well, I don't know. It can go up against the thing about it that I like about it. I get calls from people who they're doing extra seating. They've already had the carpenter come in and build something. They're building into the wall. They're painting. They're trying to match the paint. It's a big pain in the butt, right?
Right.
This here, all they need is a wall and a floor. That's it. And it just fits right in. I think it's an interesting idea. Nico, you'll have to send some more.
But how much is
It
that?
would be the cost of reupholstering a sofa or a chair. Same cost.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't
Said,
really.
yes, Kevin, I'm down to help.
Who's that?
Nico.
What does she say?
Said, yes, Kevin, I'm
Now,
down to
where
help.
is Nico from?
Yeah, I'd like to know.
I'm not sure.
Nico, did you see this picture she must have seen what I just brought up. It's just unbelievable. I love it. I love it. So anyhow, that's what we're just thinking about that. So what we're going to do now is excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry. That's an upholstery shop sneeze. Jimmy,
Is there a difference?
would you...
Unlike a plague-like, where we'd have to be confined in this room for the next 60
Quiet to
days,
send him to
listening
CDC.
to you and your upholstery jokes.
Well, Jimmy, what we're going to do now is let you close this out, but I'm going to walk away and let you close out. We'll
And
see
just
you
keep
guys
walking.
later.
Just keep walking, Kevin. That's all I can say. Well, thank you for coming into our humble abode this week. Next week, I think what we're going to try to do is elaborate a little more on this chair and give you some updates on that. We are kind of about the halfway point now with this chair, so I think you may see some changes, especially with the arms and all that. So, Kevin and I wish you hopefully a good week for everybody, and take care.
I just want to say one more thing before we stop. That Nico responded. She said a friend just reached out asking to do the same thing. And she's from New York City, but she's based in Georgia now, so that makes sense why she's shipping that chair up. Hopefully she can find a way how to do that.
Yeah.
And sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.